what's up everybody? I got the new fish tank here. I couldn't quite fit it in the somewhat of a background I got here. I didn't want to do a bookshelf, To be honest, growing up, I don't know about you guys, I'm sure you guys watching this video, it's kind of obvious. I prefer to learn through videos and just listen, right? I read a lot of fantasy books. I read 100 books every single year growing up in elementary school. But in terms of learning, I was always a video person. I don't know about you guys. What kind of learner are you guys? Anyways, and growing up, there was one mentor that I'm not a fan of, his personal values or a lot of his personal teachings or his other, classes that he teaches. But one thing he said that was so beautiful was that so many people don't know how to write real goals. They write goals, but they're not real goals. And when I heard him say that, he really caught my attention because, I was in corporate sales or, just starting to get into the whole, my whole job career or just starting my career. And when he explained that writing a real goal asks you to become a completely new version of yourself. The old version of you people won't even recognize you. I have met people from high school or, from 7, 8 years, even 1 or 2 years ago, and they just look at me like, why are you staring at me, you stranger? Why are you looking at us? Stop looking at us. And then they're like, whoa, is that Luke? And what does this have to do with change? Everything. And I understand. I have empathy to a lot of you guys that are still working a 9 to 5. You just started, your actual career that you enjoy. You're not working, anymore, the more hard labor you're starting to get into, maybe the music industry or creative industry, maybe science, and you're having to still work some pretty bad hours. Now, the moment you get into that clocking in and clocking out lifestyle, the weeks and the months just go by so fast, right? It's crazy. But that's why you have to plan ahead. Plan ahead. There is a quote that radically changed my life. That was, you live a life by design. A life by design, not a life by reaction. So many people go throughout the day, they're not even thinking or responding to life. They're just reacting. It's like a chicken with its head cut off. It's very dangerous because whatever is not growing is dying. And this is why we have depression and suicide and all these mental disorders. They all start with this one core paradigm or these habits and beliefs. Or not beliefs, these habits and values. And that's that if you're not growing, you're dying. It's that simple. If a tree stops growing, a tree is dying. If these fish stop growing, they're going to start dying. They're heading towards death. When you hit 60, 70, 80 years old, you're not growing, but you can still grow on the inside. And you and I are the highest form of life that there is. And we have the ability to think and actually plan out and get creative with our higher faculties or our spiritual mind, right? We have imagination, we have perception, we have memory, we have intuition, we have creativity in these. This is our spiritual mind that no robot or animal will never have. Now, I love animals, obviously. I'm not condescending animals, but I'm saying we have a privilege and we are the highest form of life to where if you are not growing, you are dying. But this is where the first quote comes into play. People don't know how to write real goals. They think they have a goal, they think they're growing, and they think they're moving forward in life, but they're not. They're still dying, because there is no lukewarm. There's no lukewarm. You're either growing or you're dying. You're either telling the truth or you're not. There's no lukewarm, right? Your intuition is what connects you to all of life. All of life, God, whatever you want to call it, is going to fill your intention. And it's not going to feel lukewarm. It's going to feel right or wrong. And this is why, as I said, I understand a lot of people get caught up into this 9 to 5 lifestyle, or clocking in, clocking out. Even self-employed people, as myself in the past, and I still have to be very mindful and aware, just getting into this tunnel vision, right? Just this tunnel vision, you just completely stop enjoying the process. You're just clocking, boom, 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 right? And chaos is a good thing. But when you don't have this direction and you're not writing real goals, then the change is not occurring. And a lot of people don't embrace change because they have something called the ego. It's very common, and it's very dangerous. And a lot of people, how do you get rid of the ego? You do it by letting go of all of these dogma masks and labels that a few families spend billions of dollars marketing the masses of society. Black, white, Christian, Muslim, goth, punk, gamer. These are not real things. Black and white is not a real thing. The physical world is an illusion. And it's sad, very sad, but it's the truth. And I hate to say it, that, the majority of people have these dogma masks and these labels mistaken with reality. And this is where the ego comes in, where you believe, somebody that hasn't discovered themselves, or not conscious yet, or they haven't discovered themselves on the inside, they're still just doing everything because their religion told them to do it, not because they want to do it. They still just do everything because it's what society says a black person dresses like, or what society says a black person does. They're not really doing it because it's who they are on the inside. And this is where you have an ego, right? Oh, society says I'm a black person, and society says I'm Mexican. So all of a sudden you have two people butting heads because this is what society said, and they don't get along. But when you take a 5-year-old from South America, let's say Argentina, and you take a 6-year-old from Bangkok, China, they're going to get along and be best friends. No matter what. They don't give a rat's butt about the physical world. That's an illusion. And this is where we have the ego, where people are not able to change because they don't want to let go of this dogma mask. Because and many 30-year-olds, and even people in their late 20s, and even 40s, right? There's a lot of man-childs that are very insecure. It's scary to let go of this dogma mask that they've been hiding behind their entire life, right? To just let it all go. I mean, what do you mean I have to change and stop doing what society has been telling you to do for your entire life? But that's where the courage comes from, because there's one vibration, the vibration of miracles and love, that all of life vibrates on. All of life, that cured oil-spilled water in one day. The vibration of miracles and loves, or scientifically more accurate, is 528 hertz, the frequency. This frequency of miracles, you connect to it. This frequency of miracles that all of life is vibrating on, when you truly understand and love yourself on the inside, you truly understand and love yourself on the inside, you now connect with this vibration of miracles and love to where you have the courage. You don't give a damn about what some random person thinks. Because there's no truth behind it. You are living on the inside. You are living in truth. You are not just living in truth. You have inner strength. You have a deep security in truth and who you are on the inside. And this is where change is occurring. This is where real change occurs. This is when you are able to write real goals that ask you to become a completely new version of yourself. But first, you have to discover yourself and find out where you're starting from. Most people haven't done that, right? But that's where you have to start. If you want real change or real goals to be accomplished, you got to start with where you are right now, which is point A. Now, this is where the alter ego comes in. Now, this is maybe for some more mature souls or older souls, but everybody can still listen to this. This is where we have an alter ego, where people believe in themselves so much, or believe in the person that they're going to become so much, without the action occurring, where they're still very insecure. And we have an alter ego, right? Or people that haven't discovered themselves, they're still trying to pretend to be somebody else. We have an alter ego, but that's more of an ego. The alter ego, as I said, is very dangerous. And this is one of the more, I want to say recent, but more recent lessons I had to learn in my own life, where it was, just putting in the work and studying, and putting in the work and listening to the subliminals and growing and believing in that person. But I hadn't taken the action to manifest the fruit. Right? Judge a tree by the fruits that it bears, not by the words that it speaks. We have all kinds of fake self-help gurus just sitting up on stage, rubbing their long beards. But I'm like, and talking. But I'm like, where's the fruits? Where's the results? And that's why this lesson's about over. We're at 11 minutes, and I don't like to make these videos 20, 30 minutes long anymore. I like to get to the point, offer some real heart-to-heart advice that's for everybody. It's not what I want you to hear. It's for everybody. So you have to be careful. You have to be careful with the alter ego too, that you believe in yourself for so much, or the person you are becoming, but you have to have the action, which is the last part, which is a very, very, very misleading and misconceived ideology or belief in the self-help industry. We have not just the law of attraction, we have the other law, which is the law of inspired action. The law of inspired action states exactly that. You have to take action. Every action has an equal and opposite reaction. It's how life works. It's how the universe works. So that's how you dissolve the alter ego. You got to take a step back and say, hey, yes, I believe and I'm confident in who I am becoming, but I need to still be realistic and honest with myself that we're not all the way there. We're still working and taking the action and polishing the final touches. But it still allows for change to occur, and if you don't accept that, you're going to have a lot of resistance, and it's not going to be fun. You're going to have a lot of sleepless nights, a lot of allowing people to have power over you. It's not going to be pretty. Change is going to be very difficult. So this is how we allow for real change to occur. There is no faking it until you make it. I'm sorry to be the bearer of bad news, but it's the truth. And I hate to say it, you put in the work, you put in the time, you listen to the subliminals, self-improvement, whatever it may be, whatever field or industry you're working in, you listen to the subliminals, you study how you can improve your talents, whatever it is, and then you take the action and you manifest. That's how it works. It's how the universe works. Don't try to cheat it. You will never get far. This is how real change occurs. Write those real goals that ask you to become a completely new version of yourself, and actually write it out. Write it out on paper, how you're going to become a new version of yourself. Every single day and week, map it out. And when you map it out, have the perspective of that person you're going to become, how they would map out their day, how they would map out their week. Now that you're being honest with where you're at and where you're starting, you're able to then map it out and plan it through the perspective of that person, through self-belief. Have a beautiful day. This is change. This is change uncensored.